of the other three players. Nothing. Well, the vet would tell. The big guy shook his head and passed. Ah, good. Now it was up to Philip to bet. He could simply check, see what the other two would do. No, he'd push it. Maybe they'd fold. Could he win with three of a kind? Not a great hand, but he'd won with less. Still, he shouldn't appear overconfident. "I'll raise 200. The 20-something to his left pursed his lips. Philip wanted to smile but didn't. The kid had to match, raise, or fold. The girl standing behind them whispered something, gave Philip a flirty glance, and giggled. Philip wished they'd go away. Bad for concentration. Half a minute ticked by. The young man shrugged and matched the bid. So did his friend. Back to the bald-headed guy. Sweat glistened on his forehead. Philip didn't think he'd raise it after passing the bet when he had had a chance. But now it was either match or fold. "Don't sweat it, buddy. You've only got 500 in the pot. Go ahead, fold." The man pushed chips worth a matching 200 into the pot. Well, okay. The pot was now 2,800. Maybe he'd make up the 4,000 he owed Fairbanks and Fenchel on the first game. Sweet. The dealer burned the top card, then flipped a single card face up next to the original flop of 3. An 8 of hearts. That made 2 hearts on the table, the 8 and the 6. It didn't help Philip. His best hand was still only 3 of a kind. Maybe he should get out, take his losses and try again. He'd only be out 700. He'd still have the rest of the 4,000 to play, and the night was young. The older guy checked again. Philip tried to read him. The guy couldn't have a good hand, or he would have bet right out of the gate. He was leaving it to Philip to make the call, reacting rather than taking the initiative. Chump. Philip waited a good 30 seconds and then raised the pot another 200. The whispering continued. Philip glared at the 2 young women. They backed off, still whispering and laughing. One of the college kids folded. The other matched Philip's bet. That made a pot of 3,200. Back to the bald guy. What would he do? The man chewed his lip, took out a handkerchief and mopped the back of his neck. Shaking his head, he matched the bid, moving his chips to the center of the table. Was the fool bluffing? If so, he was taking it too far. Last play. Philip watched as the dealer burned the top card of the deck and flipped the next card face up next to the other 4. The final card. Sometimes called 5th Street, sometimes the river. Philip's heart pumped. Another 10. With 2 on the table and 2 in his hand, he could make 4 of a kind. Not bad, not bad at all. The bald guy looked at his cards, looked at the 5 community cards on the table. Each player could use any 3 from the table and make his 5-card final hand. The only unknowns were the 2 cards each player was holding. Philip tried to picture what the guy could possibly use. The new 10 made 3 hearts. 10, 8, 6. Maybe the guy had a pair, or even 2, or an ace, hoping to take the pot with a single high card, none of which would win over his 4 of a kind. The guy suddenly moved all his chips into the center of the table. What? Those chips were worth another 1,000. Philip recalculated. The guy probably had 2 hearts in his hand, a flush, 5 cards in the same suit. A decent hand, but his 4 of a kind would beat it. What the heck? This is what made it fun. Philip matched the man's 1,000 and sat back. 5,400 in the pot. The second kid threw up his hands. "I fold. You guys are nuts." "That's it," the dealer said. "Lay down your hands." Breaking into a wide smile, the bald guy